Welcome to Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged with your host, Brain Fitzpatrick. Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged is a snapshot of the day-to-day experiences of disabled individuals as they navigate the world around us. We wish to shed light and open your eyes on a new perspective of people with disabilities. And by going unplugged, we can discuss viewpoints we hope will challenge our viewers' points of view. Most of us have disabilities we must live with, but what defines us is the way we deal with them. And now, here's your host, Brain Fitzpatrick.
Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to Wheeling the Pathways of Life. I'd like to thank Springside Park, Pittsfield Park Commission for allowing me to go put that opening together, and thank Pittsfield Community Television and David Wyatt as my technical advisor for the show, and Kelsey Taylor as my director for helping me put that together. We've been here since 11 o'clock this morning, 11:30 this morning, putting that together. But we made it. Today, I want to talk to you about a very not so pleasant subject, but a necessary subject to talk about in the disabled community. And that is people taking advantage of other people. Now, in many ways, this can be looked at both ways. I am inviting you guys into my house as far as caregivers goes. I'm inviting them into my house. Okay, so therefore, they pick up very personal information and they find out information that is very personal, and because you work with somebody for 5, 6 hours, sometimes 7 hours a day, you become very familiar with the individual. So, what I am saying is, if you guys have any suspicions that anybody's doing anything they shouldn't, report it to either the Disabled Protection Commission, which is called DPPC for short, or contact, in extreme situations, contact Pittsfield Police for any, and one of the ways that you can protect yourself, and there's something that all people need to know. When when you are dealing with somebody that needs a repay, alright, and you need somebody that's, you got somebody that you need to monitor money and stuff and worry about controlling who has the money and stuff. I recommend getting a card such as Cash App, because Cash App, not that I'm giving commercials for this, but in my opinion, Cash App is the way to go for this reason. Because Cash App does something that most credit cards don't do. It's kind of like a prepaid credit card, so it is a prepaid credit card. So you can put as much money as you want to on the credit card, but it doesn't have to be linked to a bank account. Okay? You can go to any store like CVS, Rite Aid, or in some cases dollar store to load money on there for you. They'll load money on there for you. The reason why I say that is because by doing it that way, you can see where the transactions are, what's being spent, where the money is being spent, who is doing it in some cases. So I'd strongly recommend anybody who is dealing with financial issues with a client, I'd recommend getting a some kind of prepaid system that does not have to be attached to a bank account, such as Cash App, because that's one of the ways that you can protect yourself. And the other thing is you can lock the card so nobody can get in and transfer money and stuff like that. But again, because I require a red pay, I can't attach it to a bank account. But I can put money on in a store and do it that way. Because if it was attached to the bank account, it would fall under the rules of I'll be violating the rules of Social Security by having it attached to my bank account. That means I would have access to all my money, and therefore that would be in a direct violation of my need for Social Security, because I could get more money than what I am. I could have full access to my money and spend more money than I should. But doing it with a prepaid credit card in the fashion that I am, you don't have that problem. The other situation is that the other thing I wanted to talk about, and this one's going to take a little bit longer than the last subject, is the fact that you can't do everything to please all your staff when you're a client. You need services, so someone has to be there to do it. Okay? If you need somebody to be there in an emergency situation because you've had to let somebody go, or something happens when you're sick, you have to be willing to adjust. Both the client and the staff have to be willing to adjust the schedule. Now, in that situation, it is your choice of whether you want to be flexible for the staff to give them time off. Okay? Yes, they are required to get time off and stuff. They have vacations and stuff they can use. But the last minute, oh, I've got something to do. I need to leave at 5 in the morning, and you're not supposed to leave till 8:30 in the morning, then there's a problem with that. Because that means I got to adjust my lifestyle to accommodate that. Now, if I'm willing to do it, that's one thing. But you can't require clients, you can't be like, oh, he needs me, so this is acceptable for what I need. This is acceptable because Brian needs me, so he's gonna say yes, because that's what's gonna happen. That's putting me in a spot where I don't feel that's appropriate, because that's giving me no choice but to do what you want me to do. Now, if we discuss it and you discuss it and I agree with it, and my supporting agency can support it, and we can have relief people in here, that's what I'm saying. You can't expect clients to do everything everybody wants them to do. Because if they do, they're living the PCA's life, not their own. Right, so you can't leave, you can't just use that you can't use that for a reason to do something, because the client needs you, yes, but the client needs you to do what they need you to do. They don't have to sacrifice their beliefs or their right to change their mind just because you want to do something. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be mean and say, you can't do this or you can't do that, but it's got to be a conversation that both you and both the client and the staff need to have. And you need to be comfortable with knowing that this staff is there to help you with the full attention being on the person they're working with at the time. I'm not saying things don't get hard, but I've sacrificed, and so has the staff, so we need, everybody needs to work together when they're dealing with clients and families. And don't let anybody in the BZA take advantage of the client or the family. And believe me, if you have anything suspicious, like I said, call. I'd rather have you call the Disabled Protection Agency and make a report that this is a possibility, that having major issues with things getting stolen or misplaced or something. I'd rather have it be a mistaken report than a report that you will be losing a lot of, that will be, I'd rather you make a possible report than a major incident happen and something major happen with you losing something or getting hurt in a physical way. Now, when we come back, I want to just tell you a little bit about my plans for the rest of the summer and how you guys can help in the community, and I can help what I believe will help you be as productive members of society, not only for the rest of the summer, but at least for the rest of the year and beyond. So we will be right back, folks.
You were the Word at the beginning, one with God the Lord Most High. Your hidden glory in creation, now revealed in you are Christ. What a beautiful name it is. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a beautiful name it is. Nothing compares to this. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus. Didn't want heaven without her. Jesus, you brought heaven down. Oh Lord, my sin was great, your love was greater, Lord. What could separate wonderful name it is. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a wonderful name it is. Nothing compares to this. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus. Death could not hold you. The veil torn before you. You silenced the boast of sin and grave. The heavens are roaring the praise of your glory. For you are raised to life again. You have no rival. You have no equal. Now and forever, God, you reign. Yours is the kingdom. Yours is the glory. Yours is the name above all names. What a powerful name it is. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a powerful name it is. Nothing can stand against. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brain Fitzpatrick bringing you an episode of Wheeling the Pathways of Life with your host, Brian Fitzpatrick, produced by Brian Fitzpatrick, in the facilities of Pittsburgh Community Television. What I'd like to say is thank you, Nick, for that wonderful rendition of that song. And yes, God is the glory, and God is the main reason why we do things the way we. He is the reason why we do things the way we do. And whether or not we have His blessing is what we need to think about every time we do things. That's the way I believe. That's not necessarily the opinion of the station or anybody else's opinion, but that's mine alone. And for what it's worth, God has put me here doing this show as an education for me and an education for you. What kind of person in a what a person in a wheelchair is capable of. Anybody is capable, whatever they put their mind to. Okay? But I am here to tell you, no matter what kind of situation you have, or what kind of ailment, what kind of disability you have or situation, there's something in life that you can do. Putting together a TV show week after week is very difficult sometimes, but and I want you to know that even if I could do it once a year, it would still be worth it. But it's amazing that I can do it once a week. It's amazing that there's a place like Pittsfield Community Television that is so welcoming, and WTBR 89.7 WTBR. It's so welcoming and so adaptable to what my needs are, and anybody in the community, anybody's situation with what they can assist with, any kind of situation they need to put out a show that you want to put out. So I really encourage you to call Pittsfield Community Television and come in and take a look and see what they can do for you. And as a matter of fact, if you want to come in and set up an appointment, just come in and if you're interested in assisting in a show like this, you can come in and sit and see if doing a show like this is something for you. If anybody who has any kind of needs, whether it's a disability or not, you can do anything you want as long as you set your mind to. Now, people with disabilities also have feelings too. It's like I'm proving today and all the time when I do my show that even though I have a disability, I can get things done. And I can be a productive member of society. I can get the message out there. So anybody that says, anybody like me, sits home and does nothing, I beg to differ. I beg to differ with you completely. I think the closed mind attitude of, oh, he can't do nothing because he's in a wheelchair. Well, if this doesn't prove it, nothing will. That I am, even though I'm home a lot, I am busy. This crew at the station right now can attest to that. I'm on the phone with my crew and on the computer weekly with my crew, talking to them about the show, what I'm planning, what I'm doing, and also what I'm planning to do in the future. And that leads me to my next topic. As I've discussed in the future, and I think possibly next week or in a couple weeks, I'm gonna have them on. I'm not gonna tell you when. exactly, but I'm gonna have the mayor come back, and we're gonna talk about the town hall situation that I'm planning on doing at the library. I know PCT is gonna need a Pittsburgh Community Television is gonna need at least 2 weeks to get this set up, so it's gonna be at the end of September, beginning of October, maybe, if we can get it together. And what it's gonna be is that it's gonna be a town hall where I'm gonna have all kinds of stakeholders and meeting people from the disabled community, people from all walks of life, and get together and find out what they need for agencies and stuff to realize what kind of services are out there and how better to serve the community as a whole, and what stakeholders like the BRTA can do, the PCA program can do, elder services may be there to discuss what they do, and we will have a bunch of disabled people getting together and discussing their needs and their expectations and their disappointments and their excitement about what the agencies have done and what they continue to do for people, and what their shortcomings are in different ways that the community as a whole, including the city of Pittsfield. I know when we do this, when I come up with a date, the Commissioner of Public Works will be there to discuss sidewalks, and the mayor's office will be there. Possibly a member of the governor's office will be there. I'm not saying this will happen, but that's what I'm working on as a big goal for the end of summer, is September or mid-October, for the beginning of fall, to get together with these communities and see what they can do to help, like tell people what's out there and how they can get services, and what kind of what kind of improvements these human service agencies need to, in my opinion, and not only my opinion, but several other people in the area, what their opinions are about how people can be better served by those people serving the disabled community. Remember, folks, as much as people don't want to realize it, as much as people don't want to say that it's going to happen, every one of us is going to have a disability in their lifetime, like me, or in some cases worse than me. Yes, it can be worse than me. Kelsey, I don't know if you're capable, but if you are, can you pull out a little bit for me? Because being in a chair, I'm gonna just move around for a minute, because being in a chair is restricting, but it can be one of the most rewarding and eye-opening things in a person's life. You can come back in, because you can sit there and wallow and say, oh, poor me, I've got a disability, this is what's going on. Or you can say, okay, these are my circumstances, how are we gonna deal with them? Or how are we gonna make the best out of a bad situation? And believe me, with the technology they have today, and yes, I'm very old school. I'm in a wheelchair that's 14 years old. I will not let it go. It is part of me, and until this chair dies, I'm keeping this one, and eventually I'm gonna have to get a new one when the chair dies, especially if I keep putting in the rain like I did a couple weekends ago, where I got the hand control wet, and I literally had to change hand controls out in the driveway because my chair died, and I had to try out a hand control to get up the ramp in my house. But you can't just say, oh, poor me. You actually got to get out there and make the best of a bad situation. And how you do that is find out what people need. Find out the information people want to have. And this is why I'm talking to you like this today. Kelsey, if you can throw up the email address, that would be great. You can get hold of me at wheelingthepathwayoflife@gmail.com, and just in general, tell me what you need, tell me what kind of service you're looking for. I can't necessarily legally recommend any official services for you, but I can tell you what works for me. But I can point you in a direction where people qualified to make recommendations that are officially able to make recommendations and make certain recommendations that could help you out. I can, however, okay, Kelsey, you can drop that whenever you're ready. I can, however, and I will put that back up on at the end of the show so people can get that address again. I can, however, put if the building or if a building or an owner of a building needs someone to go through the building and make sure it's accessible. Make sure that people can get through the aisleways easy. Make sure the accessibility is where it should be under the ADA. I am more than willing to do that. You can also get a hold of me for that. Now, I'm going to need at least 2 to 3 days, if not a week, to set up transportation and be able to go out there and do it for you. But if you're in Berkshire County or somewhere like that and you want to improve your building so a person in a wheelchair can get around your facility or get around in your store or something like that, you can get a hold of me at that address, and I will be more than happy to set up a schedule so I can come out and evaluate. And I may bring members of my agencies that I work with to assist in making recommendations and stuff like that. Now, one of the things that I think that needs to be discussed is the as Tiffany always says, and I think this is the way I'm going to end this topic. Tiffany Scully from UCP of Western Mass is one of my well-respected one of the managers of my program, and she always reminds me, for every choice I make, I also have the responsibility of making sure I give the same right to the staff that I work with. Now, what I'm saying is the fact that if you as a caregiver don't give respect to your clients, you're not gonna get it. They're not gonna respect you. They're not gonna be so cooperative. They're not gonna be ready, willing, and able to do whatever you want them to do. Give them the opportunity to feel like they're being heard. And it may be tough to communicate with people. It is tough to communicate with people. But if you have to take an extra couple seconds to talk to somebody, go ahead and do it. Don't be in such a hurry to say, oh, I got something to do, I need to move on. Because that extra 30 seconds could mean a great deal to a lot of people. And that information that person's getting or giving to another human being could really help them. And who knows, the disabled person could be the person that somebody else needs to talk to that day. Because if somebody says, somebody says to me all the time, every day of the week, somebody says to me, how can you do this? How can you not feel bad and disappointed and upset about your position? Let me tell you something. I can't. I can be disappointed and angry all I can, all I want. But the best way to look on that is to help people get through it and deal with situations that they're handed and help them get through it, because I gotta work on this too. I'm sure everybody in the sound of my voice has to work on this too. Whether or not you have a physical disability, even if patience is your disability, we all need to work on that. And we all need to work on communication. And I think we as human beings need to, the biggest disability I see on this earth is the respect and the love for this country. Everybody wants things better than what they have. They don't think, oh, there's other people in third world countries that have it worse. Let me tell you something. If I was in a third world country right now, and I was in an area that doesn't have all the stuff they have for disabled people, I don't think I'd be where I am today. There are still places like Russia and areas like that that I could never live in, because their rules and their regulations about disabled people is nothing like state of Massachusetts or the whole United States. Yes, it may be a pain in the neck to get services at times, but we have it a lot better in some areas in this country and some areas in the world. All right. So think twice before you argue and say, it could be better. It always could be better, but it could be worse too. And I'm more or less worried about what could be worse instead of what could be better. You know, I mean, there's always situations that could be better. But you gotta understand that, you know, we all need to work together to make this world a better place, make this country a better place. There's not just one person that can do it. We all have to do it. And I'm doing my part by enlightening people on disabilities, enlightening people that having a disability does not mean you're stupid. Having a disability can be disabling, or it can be uplifting and enlightening over what people can do despite their circumstances, despite what they think they can handle. Because what you think you can handle in many cases is far beyond, which is far not beyond, but is so short. What you think you can handle is not the exact thing you can handle. You can handle a lot more than what you think. People think they're disabled when in actuality they're not. They're just disabled in their own mind. Now, yes, we do have physical challenges, but there is no one disabled. I mean, everybody's able-bodied to do something. It's just, what are you able to do? That is the question. And that is the question this show strives to answer week after week and come up with situations that we can enlighten people on what's out there so they can take their dreams and run with them. And you don't have to be, one of the things that I want to say, I don't have to be making thousands of dollars to make this show. I don't have to be picked up by a corporate station. One of the best things about Berkshire County and the whole community television aspect is people like me can, if they have an idea, they can make it happen. It may be a situation where you have an idea and they may say, we can't do it right now, but here's how we can do it. And here's what we can do right now to get you on the air, get you doing what you gotta do. Yes, you gotta think high. You gotta think big, but you also gotta think small. Doing a show like this started out with me just doing a weekly taping of my autobiography. And it's turned into something like this. It's turned into the greatest thing in my life, and I hope it's the greatest thing in your life, and you learn a lot from what I'm saying. And the guests that I bring on the show are enlightening to you and informative and helpful and very educational, and I need to hear from you what you guys need. And with that, folks, you can contact me at wheelingthepathwayoflife@gmail.com. And just let me know, or you can look me up on Facebook at Brain Fitzpatrick in Facebook, and look me up in we can communicate, and you can see this show and more shows like it. But the one thing I like to say is I can never forget where I came from. And without Jesus Christ, none of this would be possible. And until I came to appreciate who God is and what He did for me by putting me in the situation I'm in, I was a pain in the butt. I was so rebellious, so angry, because I was put in this wheelchair. But I realized now that I was put in this wheelchair for a reason, and this was the reason. And this continues to be the reason, and I will continue to do it until the day I die. So, with that, folks, I really appreciate everybody's input, everybody's statements, everybody, even if it's just one person that comes to me and says hi to me and likes my show. That's what I need to know. You want this to continue. You want me to go out there and do what I can. Like I said, let me know if you need anything, and I will be back next week, and we will discuss more. But I want you to really, really remember, folks, I need you as much as you need me. So if you need any help with anything or any information about people with disabilities, or just like to tell me your story, please get a hold of me at wheelingthepathwaysoflife@gmail.com. With that, folks, I think we're going to call that a show, and I will see you next week, and we will have possibly up a guest like the mayor to continue the conversation about what we're trying to do in this city. And with that, folks, have a good afternoon. I appreciate everything. And thank you, Pittsburgh Community Television, for all you do, and for the community, and for people with disabilities as a whole. Thank you.
You can bury the workman, but the work will go on. You can silence the voices, but you can't stop the song. 'Cause when the Spirit's moving is where we'll be done. You can bury the workman, but the work will go on.